All right, so have you heard about this companion movie? It's got everyone talking.
Yeah, there's a lot of buzz around it for sure.
I think so, yeah. We've got this article from Tech Radar. It's dated January 9th, 2025.
Oh, so just out then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's all about the new trailer that just dropped.
Oh.
Apparently, it's causing quite a stir.
Oh, how so?
Not just because of what's in the trailer itself,
Hmm.
but also because some are saying it reveals way too much.
Okay, I see.
So that's what we're going to be looking into today.
All right, so the big question is, will all this attention help or hurt the movie?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting question. Really makes you think about, the way we consume media these days, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. It really goes beyond this one movie.
Right.
This whole thing, it really speaks to that, instant information age we live in.
It really does. But okay, so first things first. For those who haven't seen the trailer yet, what is Companion even about?
Right. Well, at its core, it seems to be a sci-fi thriller
Okay.
centered around, well, a couple, Iris and Josh.
Okay.
And they're played by Sophie Thatcher and Jack Quaid.
Oh, wow.
Thatcher, you probably remember from Heretic.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And Quaid's, well, he's been doing great in The Boys, of course.
Oh, I loved Thatcher and Heretic.
Oh, yeah.
She was phenomenal. She's got this, intensity to her,
Yeah.
just draws you right in.
Yeah, yeah. Powerful presence.
Yeah, but it sounds like this trailer takes a pretty dark turn right away.
It does, yeah. Like, right from the start, we hear Iris say, there have been two moments in my life when I was happiest.
Okay.
The first was the day I met Josh, and the second, the day I killed him.
Oh, wow. Okay, so,
Huh?
not exactly your typical love story.
No, not at all.
So, full disclosure for anyone listening,
Yeah.
we are going to be talking about spoilers today. The article from Tech Radar calls out a major reveal in the trailer. So if you want to go in totally blind, maybe skip ahead a bit.
Right. Yeah, good point. It's interesting because the author seems really concerned that revealing this could actually backfire.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but is it really a spoiler if it's, right there in the trailer?
I don't know. It's like they're kind of daring us to see how it all plays out.
Yeah, that's true.
Even though we already know this big twist about Iris, I mean, I'm not sure how you could give away much more than that in a trailer.
Well, there's definitely a long history of trailers revealing too much.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember that superhero movie last year?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Where they basically showed, like, the entire final battle?
Oh, yeah, that was awful.
Yeah. But in this case, with Companion, I'm not so sure it's a bad thing.
Really? Why not?
Well, think about it this way. Wouldn't knowing a major plot point beforehand usually diminish the suspense?
Yeah, usually, yeah.
Right. But think about how we live today. We live in this world where everything is instant.
Yeah, for sure.
Constant bombardment of information. So maybe a movie that just puts it all out there like this, that lays its cards on the table, maybe it actually speaks to us on some psychological level.
Oh, that's interesting. So you're talking about like a morbid curiosity.
Yeah, kind of. That's part of it, I think.
We can't help but look, even though we know it's going to be bad.
Exactly. Yeah. Like rubbernecking at a train wreck,
Yeah, yeah.
But it's also about something called the Zeigarnik effect.
Okay.
Our brains, they just naturally tend to remember unfinished tasks or, incomplete information. They remember it more vividly.
Oh, okay.
So by putting the twist right out there, it creates this gap in our knowledge.
Yeah.
The how, the why.
Right. Makes you want to fill it in.
Exactly, yeah.
So you're saying that instead of ruining the movie, the spoiler might actually make us want to see it more.
Exactly, yeah. It's definitely a gamble.
Yeah.
But it could pay off big time.
That's interesting.
It all comes down to how they execute the rest of the story.
Well, that's where things get really interesting.
Right.
Because even though we know this big twist about Iris,
Yeah.
there's still a ton we don't know. Like, what even leads her to do that? What are the consequences?
Right. All the details.
And the article mentions something else that kind of surprised me. The movie apparently has some humor in it.
It does, yeah. That caught my eye, too.
Humor in a sci-fi horror, you don't see that every day.
No, not really. I mean, suggests they might be playing with the genre a bit.
Yeah.
A little bit of a more nuanced tone, maybe.
Yeah, like that.
Than your straight-up horror.
Right. And, okay, what about the violence?
Right.
It is a horror movie after all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're probably in for some scares, right?
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that. The article does mention plenty of violence.
Okay, yeah.
But what's interesting is they don't really get into specifics,
Nah.
which kind of makes me even more curious. You
Yeah,
know?
totally.
Like, is it really visceral, gory, or more restrained, psychological?
Yeah. Yeah, I've always felt like the best horror, it isn't about, like the blood and guts.
Right.
It's about what's left unsaid, what's implied.
Oh, absolutely. That sense of dread.
Yeah.
Like something terrible is about to happen.
Yeah, that feeling that stays with you.
Yeah, long after the movie's over.
Totally. Maybe that's what they're going for with this movie. Maybe the violence is more about creating that unsettling atmosphere
Could be.
to heighten the tension between Iris and Josh.
Yeah, I could see that. It would make sense given what we know so far.
Right.
All the secrets, hidden truths, that kind of thing.
So to recap, we've got a controversial spoiler,
Yeah.
a hint of humor, potential violence, and a seriously talented cast.
Does seem like Companion could be a real wild card.
Totally.
You know, it's interesting to think about how this spoiler debate fits into the bigger picture.
Like, how has all this changed things?
Yeah, I'm listening. Let's dive into that.
I mean, think about it. We're bombarded with trailers these days.
Oh, totally.
Clips,
Yeah.
behind the scenes footage, all this stuff before a movie even comes out.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost impossible to go into anything completely blind these days.
That's so true. It's like, I feel like I've accidentally spoiled so many things for myself.
Right.
Just by, like, scrolling through social media.
Oh, yeah.
It's a minefield out there.
Yeah.
If you want to avoid spoilers, I mean.
It really is.
You gotta be so careful.
Yeah. It makes you wonder, has all of this actually changed how we feel about spoilers? Like, has our tolerance for spoilers increased?
That's interesting.
Or are we just, I don't know, are we just getting more picky about which spoilers we want to know?
That's a good question. I think it's kind of a mix of both.
Like, I still love being surprised.
Oh, for sure.
Like that gasp out loud moment when there's a twist in a movie that I did not see coming.
Yeah.
Love that. But there's also a part of me that enjoys, like picking apart a story even when I already know the ending.
Right.
Like knowing how it ends almost allows you to appreciate it on a whole other level.
That's true. It's like when you reread a book.
Yes.
And you notice those little things you missed the first time.
It's like a treasure hunt.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, I didn't catch that before.
Finding those like little clues the filmmakers left behind.
Yes, like they were there all along. And I think that's what Companion might be doing here, actually.
Okay.
By giving us that twist up front.
Yeah.
They're basically saying, okay, now focus on the details.
Okay, I see.
Like, how does it all happen? Why does she do it?
So instead of focusing on the what, you're saying we get to think about the why.
Exactly.
And the how.
It adds that extra layer.
Yeah, it does.
To the experience. And it can be really powerful, especially with these actors.
Right, Thatcher and Quaid?
They're both known for really nuanced performances.
For sure.
So it's not just about watching the plot happen. It's about seeing them react.
Right.
Wrestle with all these complex emotions, knowing what's going to happen.
Man, when you put it that way, it really reframes this whole spoiler thing.
Does it?
Yeah, I'm starting to see how it could actually be a really smart move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to make the story even more powerful.
Right. It's like they're saying we trust our actors, we trust our story,
Yeah.
and we trust our audience to get it.
I like that.
Okay.
Speaking of going deeper with this,
Yeah.
there was something else in the article that I wanted to talk about.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
The violence.
Oh, right.
I mean, yeah, it's a horror movie. Some violence is to be expected.
Of course, yeah.
But I'm curious, like, how is it handled,
Yeah. Yeah. The author did say, quote, plenty of violence.
Right.
But they left it at that.
Okay.
Which makes me wonder, is it like super gory in your face? Or is it more, subtle,
Right, yeah.
psychological?
Yeah. Honestly, I've always felt like the most effective horror, it's not about how much blood there is.
No.
It's about what you don't see.
Right, what they don't show
The
you.
things that are implied.
Yeah. It's that lingering feeling
Yeah, exactly.
that something's not right.
That something terrible could happen at
Exactly.
every moment.
And you never know when.
Maybe that's what they're going for in Companion.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe the violence is less about, shock value and more about creating this, like, creepy vibe.
Right.
This tension between Iris and Josh.
Yeah. amplifying that.
Exactly.
That would definitely fit with what we've been talking about.
Yeah,
All
totally.
this stuff about secrets, hidden things.
And, and then the article also mentioned that there's some humor in this film.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Which, I've got to say, that's not something you usually see in a sci-fi horror.
No, not at all.
It's kind of an interesting twist.
Yeah. It could work really well, though.
How so?
Well, imagine you're watching and you're not sure whether to laugh or be scared.
Oh, I love that.
It's like it messes with you a little bit.
Yeah. It's like they're playing with our expectations.
Yeah. They keep you guessing.
On every level. First the spoiler, now this.
Right. Like, what genre is this?
Exactly.
You can't put it in a box.
It's defying conventions. And, that's what I find so exciting about it.
Yeah, me too. It feels fresh,
It does. It's not just about the scares or the special effects.
Correct.
It feels like it's going to be a much deeper experience, something that really sticks with you.
Absolutely. And, there's one thing that the article barely even touched on.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
The sci-fi part. We know it's a couple. We know something bad happens, but we don't actually know much about the future world they live in.
That's true. It's like they're keeping the focus on the relationship.
Yeah. Maybe the sci-fi part is just a backdrop.
Right, a way to heighten the tension.
Exactly. Almost like they're saying this isn't just some action movie.
Right.
This is about something real.
Something much more intimate.
Exactly. Yeah, and a little disturbing.
Totally. And with Thatcher and Quaid, I bet they're going to bring a lot of depth to it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just think about Thatcher and Heretic, right?
Yeah.
She could say so much without even speaking.
Oh, totally.
Just a look, a little change in her voice. It was incredible.
And Quaid, he has this ability to make you empathize with anyone.
It's true. Even the bad guys, you end up rooting for them a little bit.
Exactly.
So yeah, even though we know the ending, there's still so much to discover about these characters.
Oh, for sure. What makes them tick,
Right. Their journey.
Mm.
And I think that's what's going to keep people hooked.
Yeah, it's like they've given us the puzzle box, but they haven't shown us all the pieces.
And that's the fun of it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Figuring it out as you go.
Totally. This whole companion discussion has really got me thinking about something.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Something bigger, I guess.
Okay, I'm listening.
It's like in this world of sequels and reboots, are we starting to want more original stories?
I mean, it's an interesting question for sure.
Yeah.
And I think, makes you think about the bigger trends.
Yeah.
About, how we watch things, how we consume media, basically. On the one hand, there's something to be said for familiar things.
Oh, for sure.
Like, you've got your favorite show, right? Or your favorite book series. Comforting.
Yeah, it's like putting on a comfy sweater, just feels good.
Right, exactly. It's familiar.
But then you have those times when you experience something totally new.
Yes.
And original. And it's so exciting.
It's like it wakes you up.
Yes.
Like a jolt to the system.
And I think that's part of why people are excited about Companion,
Yeah.
Even with the spoiler, there's still so much we don't know.
It's true. Like, we know the what, but not the how or the why.
Exactly, yeah. The trailer kind of gives us, like, the frame of the puzzle.
Right.
But we still have to put all the pieces together.
And that's what makes it so engaging. You're part of it.
Yes. It's like those choose your own adventure books.
Oh, I love those.
Me too. Even when you kind of knew like the different endings,
Yeah.
it was always a different journey.
Every time. Yeah. And I think that's what's so great about this companion situation.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a conversation starter.
Hmm.
We may know how it ends, but we can still talk about it.
Yeah. How did they get there? Why did she do it? That sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So maybe that's the big thing that comes out of this.
Right.
This whole spoiler controversy.
Yeah.
It makes us think about how we watch movies,
Yeah.
how we take in stories.
Yeah, and how we feel about spoilers. How much we want to know, how much we want to figure out on our own.
Exactly. I mean, the filmmakers are basically saying, here's a story,
Yeah.
but we're not going to tell you everything.
Right.
Figure it out.
And that's kind of a risky move, don't you think?
It is, definitely. A lot of studios wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I guess they're afraid to stray from the formula.
Yeah. But, it shows a lot of trust in the audience.
Yeah.
And it makes you think, maybe they know they have a really strong story.
Yeah.
A story that can stand on its own.
Right. Because ultimately, it's not just about the plot.
No. It's about how it makes you feel.
The characters, the themes.
Does it stay with you? Do you think about it later?
Yeah. It's about more than just, like, who did what to whom.
Exactly. And that's why, I think this whole conversation has been so interesting. Yeah, totally.
It's not just about companion, it's about how we tell stories.
Yeah. In a world where we have access to so much information.
All the time, yeah. It's a new way of thinking about things.
It really is. So as we wrap up here,
Yeah.
what would you say, like, what's the big takeaway?
That's a good question. I'd say don't be afraid to try new things.
Okay.
Don't let, the idea of spoilers ruin a movie for you.
Right.
Go in with an open mind
Yeah, be open to the unexpected.
to the mystery and the possibility of being surprised.
Yeah, I like that. And at the end of the day, there's no right or wrong way to watch a movie
That's true.
or enjoy a story.
As long as you enjoy it.
Right.
Yeah.
Just be curious.
Yeah.
And be open to being challenged.
Because that's what good stories do, right?
Yeah, exactly. They make you think.
They make you feel.
They stay with you.
Yeah. And maybe, just maybe, Companion will be one of those stories for you.
It definitely has been for us.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's been a pleasure. And until next time, happy viewing, everyone.